of the Asian Coalition of Healthcare Empowerment. I am Mehak Sharma, and I warmly welcome you all to today's webinar. We are delighted to see participants from all walks of life. Parents are there, we have educators, policymakers, and a few healthcare professionals. Together, we are going to explore not just the challenges but posed by childhood smartphone addiction, but also the opportunities to rethink about it. I am very honored to have with us two distinguished experts who bring invaluable insights from both medical and psychological perspectives. Dr. Munish Agarwal, who is a senior consultant, Department of Medicine, Mata Chanam Devi Hospital, New Delhi. With years of clinical experience, he brings deep insights into physical and behavioral impacts of digital dependency. We also have with us Dr. Amita Puri, PhD in clinical psychology, who's also the director of Optimus Center of Wellbeing, Citizen Hospital and De-Addiction Center, Gurgaon. She has been at the forefront of addressing addiction and mental health challenges in today's fast-changing world. So my first question would be, from a clinical psychological perspective, what are the most significant mental health impacts that we are seeing in children that are being posed by smartphone overuse?
So, lot of anxiety disorders in various forms, they get manifested with addiction of smartphones. Like there's constant connectivity issue is there. You feel like that you have to be connected, and if your hands are not working on the phone or they are not holding the phone, something is going wrong, or kuch to hai which is not correct, and all of those things are leading to more anxiety. It's a vicious cycle, and children from schools and colleges, adolescents, they are going through a lot of these issues. Then FOMO, fear of missing out. Oh my God. And the students are saying, or the little ones are saying, oh my God, if I'm not in touch, not in connection with people, I am missing out. Oh my God, he's doing that, they are doing that, she's doing this. And people are stalking. Even the adults who come to us, they stalk on LinkedIn and they say, oh, they are doing so much, they have done this course, they are doing that, they are going there. I am missing out, that fear of missing out. And that is leading to more anxiety. It's converting into clinical anxiety. And then of course sleep disorders, then they will happen, because then you are missing out on your normal sleep and normal activity pattern, and late night of course. And then the children say, thoda karne do, I just need half an hour, I just need me time. So what is me time? So there is no well-defined limit when it starts happening. From 5 minutes to 50 minutes to 5 hours, all of those things happen, leading to depression and mood disturbances. It's a hierarchy from one thing to the other, starting from the lowest this thing. Then it is leading to social comparison trap, then reduced face-to-face bonding. All of these, they are after effects, side effects of depression and mood disturbances. Then cyberbullying risks, they get increased. We get so many cases where the students, the little ones, they got exploited by these cyber bullies out there, bullies out there, and they suffered a lot in many ways, emotional, physical, financial also. So, and ultimately the parents had to, of course, they would help them out, and they are always on the weekend back up, they are a solid backup for any child. But for that, again, the parent-child connect has to happen. The child should feel comfortable that any time a problem comes, well, my father has my back, or my mother is going to take care of me, and not shout or scream at me that time at least. So that kind of connect, that they have my back, is very, very important, which many times the students feel, the children feel, that they do not have that kind of approachability to their parents, and that is leading to multiple issues, and hence leading to behavioral and emotional irregulation. What is happening? Irritability and aggression, reduced frustration tolerance is happening, and escapism. because that is the easiest thing, and so many stimulant activities are there in the name of smartphones that even adults get addicted. What about the little ones? And eye strain, posture issues, obesity risks, and altered brain reward pathways resembling addiction is, they start happening in the brain. The chemical changes in the brain start happening. So there are various multiple issues which our children face when they get addicted, and hence we are here to talk about it and to brainstorm about it. Yeah.
I'm drawing your extensive experience in the addiction and behavioral therapy. What are some effective guilty-free strategies that families or mothers can adopt to manage or reduce smartphone dependency in children?
Initially, as I said, the bonding, good bonding, strong bonding has to happen. Children should feel my father or my mom is my best friend. Any problem arises, I can talk to them. So that kind of connectivity. So non-judgmental dialogue. As parents, we need to share with our children. So I always tell the parents that even if you are getting so angry and so provoked, and righteously provoked, but parents have to play deaf, dumb and blind. होना नहीं है, बनना पड़ता है. So it's a pretense sort of a thing where you are acting, you are deaf, dumb and blind, so that the child comes and talks to you. And it's not that because you get the data and then you can throw all those things at the child. Subsequently, you do this, you did that. The you statements in any relationships, they are the deal breakers. So those you statements also we have to be very, very careful. So non-judgmental dialogue is very important. And then shared family rules. Because many times people feel, children, they say, dad ko to koi kuch nahi bolta, he is the boss. Or mom, she can get away with anything. What about us? All rules are for us. And rules are made to be broken. So all those kind of things the children have. So it should be a consistent family rule. If dad, so maybe 1 hour, 2 hour in the evening is a family time. So some sort of screen time rules need to be well in place in the family. So shared family rules are very important, and then maintain those boundaries. Structured boundaries are very important. The screen time, zooming, when and where, zoning, it has to be done. Then tech-free family rituals. Many times we are sitting, even अभी आरती या पूजा भी होती है तो वो लगा देते हैं YouTube में. Many times it happens, and moms feel कि चलो I'm working in the kitchen, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing some part of housekeeping, and भजन भी तो हो रहा है. So आवाज तो पड़ रही है कान में. But when you're sitting and doing the prayers together, आजकल तो नवरात्रे हैं. There are so many things rituals which parents are doing and mothers are doing at home. When we do all these things together, there's a saying, a family that prays together stays together. So doing those rituals, which mean tech-free family ritual time, should be there. Digital detox hours also should be, well in place, that okay, this is not going to happen and everyone is going to follow that. And then positive reinforcements. So you're rewarding the good behavior or the consistent behavior. The parents should see to it. So using token reward system or something, okay, for this week my child has been very consistent, I'm so proud of you bache, and okay, so let's do this, we'll do that, we'll go there, whatever, those kind of things. Again, bonding time with the child is very, very important. And then modeling healthy use. Okay, then we are, because they say bache to monkeys hote hain, they'll just copy or imitate what we are doing. So when we have, maintain boundaries and we respect those boundaries for ourselves, our children will pick up those things. Like there's a saying, values are not taught, they are caught. So if we are doing that, it's going to be, children are going to pick it up faster. And is going to sustain also. And then of course substitution strategies also can be followed, like replacing, not just removing. So that, which means that you are hobbies like art or music or sports or doing meditation or journaling, anything, in the evening or together time. So substitution is very substitution strategies. So mindfulness use of these gadgets are very, very important. And of course, in case the issue becomes out of hand, which is happening today, then parents need to understand that yes, this is the time they need to meet with a mental health professional, and in case whatever is required, because your psychometric profiling and family therapy is going to happen, they should be receptive to that and they should be open to that. So meeting a mental health professional today is again a smart way to live. We are using smartphones smartly, so meeting a mental health professional is also a smart way to live today. So these are some of the things we can do as family members to help our little ones become better individuals.
So my question would be, what specific physical health concerns, if any, are emerging in children due to excessive smartphone use, and how do you relate this to the idea of smartphones being called as the new cigarette?
See, the first thing we all should understand is the human body. Our posture is a straight posture. Now, when we are using these devices, especially phones, most of the times, what are we doing? We don't put it in front of our eyes and look like that. We are bending our neck, and most of the time we are looking like this, down. So, and okay, once in a while it's okay, but pain, it may take time, in a matter of years, maybe we are talking about, because these will cause in the bones. So this is a major thing to happen over a period of time. Now, this is number one. Secondly, with this type of posture, when you're bending forward, hump over the back, you will start getting a hump over the back. Your shoulders will start drooping because you are not taking a normal posture. Then you are sitting the car or on your sofa or on your chair. We are not in a normal posture. We are supposed to be sitting straight, but that is what is not happening when we are using any device. Let it be a phone or maybe a tablet or even a laptop, what you're using. We are not sitting in a normal posture. So you will start having all backache problems, lower backache problems, muscular pains, stiffnesses. So these things will start gradually over a period of time, which we do not realize now. It is not going to happen in a few weeks, but yes, once you are continuously using, you will definitely have all these problems. Now, the second thing is screen time. Long screen time, your eyes always watching. So we now are seeing there is a very, very high incidence of myopia, that is refractory disorders of the eye. Children are using specs at a very early age. This is all because of the excessive use of phones or any screen for that matter. So now your eyes, again, with period of time, you will be using specs. But now what we are observing is young children, school-going children are, coming into this. They are wearing specs now at a very early age. There is an effect which is called as a blue light effect because of the screen. Now, what is this blue light effect? What is this causing? This blue light effect, basically what it is doing, it is disturbing your sleep, because this suppresses the production of melatonin, which is important to induce sleep and give you a peaceful sleep. Now there is a suppression of melatonin due to the blue light effect from these phones. So your initiation of sleep will not be there. You will be sleeping late. Your sleep will be disturbed and you will not get a peaceful sleep. So your next day is also gone. Third thing, most of the times we are using earbuds or earphones when we are listening to any thing on the phones. Chronic usage slowly going to cause deafness in all of us if we do not stop using the earbuds. You are playing on phone, You want to, all games are downloaded. You are playing football, hockey, cricket, whatever you want, you can get it on the phone. And you are not going out in the field. There is physical activity is getting less and less, which is one of the major causes for obesity, diabetes, hypertension. So you are inviting all these troubles over a period of time. These are the main basic problems. And one, another one, what I feel is that there is reduced socialization now, because you are on the phone, you have less friends, you do not interact with many of the people. So socialization again is going down. So I think there are multiple problems, and we should be looking into all these things.
So my next question would be, from a medical standpoint, how does smartphone addiction in youth, majorly addictive behavior seen with substances, and how does this understanding guides early interventions and prevention strategies?
It is as good as a substance abuse, no doubt about it. And see, the problem what normally we get, what happens whenever we are doing any exercise, or whether we are into even eating or in a sexual activity, anything which is giving pleasure, what happens is there is a release of dopamine. It's a chemical substance, and you can consider it as a hormone. It is from the brain, and this basically gives you a feeling of a hit. That is what happens. Now, substance abuse also, a few things which I told you, then alcohol, smoking, all these also will release the dopamine and give you a reward hit. That is what actually is happening. Now, the similar thing is happening with the phone, because whenever you are on the phone, you are whatever you want to see, any reels you are watching or music or whatever. So this is again basically releasing dopamine. Now what happens gradually, what is happening over a period of time to come to that level? See, if you know, you can understand all these people who are smoking and drinking. They start initially with maybe one peg or two peg, or maybe one cigarette or two, but gradually they get, they have dependence on it. Because to reach that level of a reward hit, what it is called as, you have to increase the dose, or you have to increase the time. And this is exactly what happens when you are using these gadgets. To come to that level, you will have to increase the time of usage of it. That is when you will probably start coming to that level where you get a hit. So this is very, very similar to something what happens with all these drug abusers. Then what is the problem? You get so much used to it. Withdrawal is a problem. When these people, if you see addiction, people who are addicted, it is very difficult to bring them out. You have to really get them admitted to centers, de-addiction centers. This is again happening with same. You cannot, you all know, phone घर पे हल्का थोड़ी देर के लिए भी दूसरे कमरे में होता है. It's not only children, everybody nowadays. You will be looking after the phone like कि उसमें क्या घूम गया है ऐसा, मतलब कहाँ गया फोन, कहाँ है फोन का. This is addiction. You cannot even think of being without a phone maybe for even 5 minutes now. So this is exactly what is addiction. So you have to take care of all these things, and I think we, as ma'am has said, that we have to talk to our children. We have to explain them. We have to educate them basically about the side effects, or the bad effects rather, I would say, of as like substance abuse. It's the same what we are having now here.